So one thing that I noticed is I feel like the NBA is changing and shifting from the superstar heavy driven teams being the ones to win championships. I think they're moving towards a formula kind of like the NFL, right? And because I don't think the gap between NBA talent for the top stars and the rest of the league is as damning compared to the NFL when it comes to like elite quarterbacks compared to the rest of the quarterbacks. So it's easier to build a well-rounded teams in an NBA versus the NFL. So this is what I mean. One way you can become a contender in the NFL is either having a generational quarterback like a Mahomes, like a Joe Burrow, Lamar, or Josh Allen, or you could have a quarterback you're not paying a lot of money and build a well-rounded roster. So that is two ways you can win and become a contender in the NFL. For the NBA, I think we're moving towards a different type of league where there you can't be the best of the best player and have no team around you. You need to have a team around you. So there's going to be a lot of benefit to having a lot of young talent and a lot of manageable contracts. So that's why the Celtics being able to build the team they built was super impressive. It wasn't about Jason Tatum, it was how great that team was. Also, shout out Obafemi winning. Also, the current four teams in the NBA Conference Finals right now perfectly encapsulate that as well. Anthony Edwards is not being paid yet. Shea, I don't think Shea has a crazy contract. I might have to look into that.
He said no, Ant got paid this year.
Then it didn't kick in yet. That's why they have the team right now. They had to get rid of Cat, but they were able to replace his talent. So the contract hasn't kicked in to affect that roster. Shea, very similar. They had a bunch of draft picks. They're not paying anybody, and they are just have a well-rounded team because of the low contracts or the rookie contracts with a player that is really, really good that doesn't have a contract like completely damaging the team. Same thing with the Pacers. Halliburton doesn't have a crazy contract. A bunch of teams, bunch of role players that are filling the role, and the Knicks. Brunson doesn't have a crazy contract. They brought in Cat. You know, Cat has a big contract, but nothing crazy. And then they brought in some other role player talent. So I think the NBA is moving towards a way that it. And I'm not justifying. I still hate Nico Harrison and what he did, but there might be some logic to the idea that top tier generational talent without a team, you can't do that anymore. You can't do what you did with LeBron. You can't do what you did with Steph. You can't do what you did with some of these other generational all time teams because of how the salary cap works and how the talent gap is closing.